The bit snapped.
Hi, I'm Meg, and I'm not a carpenter.
Definitely spits up a lot of plastic.
But I'm taking on projects I once doubted I was capable of.
No less rocky.
I may not always get it right the first time.
So many chickens and so many eggs.
But figuring it out for myself is worth the struggle.
Let's see if I got this. Hi, I'm Meg, and welcome to my shipping container workshop. 2 weeks ago, I outfitted this 40-foot sea can with a storage unit wall, a workbench, and this man door. But no workshop is complete without power and lights. So today, I'm going to be attempting to install a power supply and some workshop lights to this off-grid setup. Also going to be installing an air conditioning unit and some vents to improve the air circulation and make it way more comfortable to work in. Lastly, I've got to finish up the exterior of this door. So I'm going to be installing trim and siding and painting it so that it's weather tight and looking amazing. So come on in, let's get started. All right, well, welcome to the inside of my shipping container workshop. So this sea can is 40 feet long by 8 feet wide by 8'6" tall. So I have a lot of room in here. But when this door is closed, you can't see anything. So to fix that problem, these are the lights I picked up from Canadian Tire. So I'm gonna install one above the entranceway here and one above the workbench here. But since this is an off-grid setup, I have to run extension cords to my generator, which is at the other end of the shipping container. So I'm gonna be running extension cords along the roof, or the ceiling, I should say, of the sea can, down the wall and out through a hole that I need to drill so that that extension cord can run from the inside of the shipping container to the generator. So in order to do that, I'm gonna need to drill a hole through steel. Let's do it. Here's my drill. I have a, which size is this? This is a 2 1/8 inch hole saw. So tighten this down. So you can see, I gotta line up the pins properly so that the pins go in. And that way, the drill bit itself is locked and loaded. First things first, you can't just drill through steel all willy-nilly. So I've got a 3/16 metal bit that I'm gonna drill a pilot hole first. That way this bit can go into the pilot hole and then I can drill a hole, or I can cut a hole through the steel more safely and properly. All squared up in there. Oh. Okay, let's find out where we're gonna do this. So on the inside of the shipping container, the corrugations are opposite versus the outside. So this is a peak on the inside, on the outside it'll be a valley. Same for here. This is a valley on this side, it'll be a peak on the outside. And I want the outlet on a peak on the outside. So I'm gonna use this valley to drill my hole. I want it about 16 inches off the ground, centered in this spot. So we mark 16 right about there. I've actually never used a hole saw before. I've heard the importance of using a cutting lubricant or a cutting oil. So this is what I have for it. So I'm gonna put a little bit on the end of the drill bit, drill my pilot hole, and then I'll put a little bit on the hole saw bit, replacing the cutting oil regularly. A little bit on the end there. Put my glasses on because, well, metal shavings. Woo! Okay, that worked extremely well. Better than I thought, to be honest. I'm gonna drill this hole from the outside coming in because we're in extreme fire risk right now around here.
And I don't want to risk any hot metal shavings getting blown away, even though I have gravel for so far around this shipping container. I don't want to take any chances. Okay, so let's switch out this drill bit. Okay. I don't know if that's too much grease or not enough grease, but we will keep checking on it. That's not doing anything. This drill bit is a little bit bigger. So we're gonna take this off.
So I need something to step up the size, which is a great job for a step up bit or a step down bit. I don't know. This bit.
I'm just going to step up the size of the hole that I'm drilling so that my drill bit can fit. Some drilling thing on there. Okay, that one up a size. There, okay, chill. Put this back in the hole. Oh, I know what I need. My handle. I lost this for a while. But let's do this. Oh, yeah, I don't like the metal fragments. Woo! Oh, you came off. Did I not have you tight enough? We have a hole. There we go. I drilled my first hole. This red and orange one might be the one I want to use. Okay, maybe I'm gonna reassess this situation here. I think what's gonna make the most sense is actually figuring out my fan and my air conditioning placement before I start putting in power cords, because I'm not really sure what lengths I'm gonna need and where everything is gonna go. So that kind of feels like the last step to me. I need to put all the things that have to go in hard places, must go places, and then I can figure out the extension cords as I go. Maybe figuring this out first will be helpful. Now, this was actually a suggestion from one of you. So thank you for making this suggestion, because I hadn't thought of this. And I already had an air conditioning unit, so didn't even have to spend a dime. So this is the attachment point for the exhaust vent, and that I'm gonna put up here. That's gonna run from this exhaust vent port up to here. But as you can see, it's not quite long enough. So I'm gonna have to build a platform for this to go up on. This brings me to my next chicken before the egg. Frame in a spot for this vent. So maybe that has to happen first. Oh, jeez. Okay, other one. This piece is gonna go kind of like that. But I'm actually gonna cut this so that it's a little shorter, because I don't really need the whole thing. And then I'm gonna put a 2x4 here so that this is actually framed in kind of like a box. On this side, it'll be 9 and 1/8. And 2. We're gonna cut that to 1 foot. Right about there. Okay, so we'll clamp this like that. Cut it. Come on. cooperate. I don't like that clamp. Let's see. Maybe something like this? That's crazy. I mean, that's definitely better. Wow. Definitely spits up a lot of plastic. Let's go see what we do with this. So this clips in to that, like that, because then I can, something like that. We want that to overhang like, what, half an inch, so that can be secured there. That is half an inch and half an inch, so that's an inch away by 9. I just realized it's 8, so before I start getting into a bunch of cuts, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get up bright and early. We're gonna have a big day. Good night. Good morning. So I'm going to get started on cutting those 2x4s so I can frame in the little plastic piece for my AC exhaust tube. Let's get those 2x4s and get to cutting. That's gonna go like that. And I want the 2x4 flush with the outside of this. Okay, now we can put this up here, make sure it works. So I need to put that other piece right here. But first, I'm gonna screw that in. Oh, I didn't even check if that was level. 11 3/8. Oopsie. Can't just assume it's straight up and down. It is so windy outside, I'm scared my tent is gonna blow away. 11 1/4. 11 1/4. Okay, we can screw this in now. There. Good. So that is gonna go like that. And then we just need a piece right there. And that is gonna be 9 3/4. Okay, so 9 3/4. There we go. Let's put this one up. Put it about 3 inches down. I think that'll be good. There. There. Kinda like that. Yeah, let's do that. I should have brought more screws. More screws. There we go. There. Okay, we have our little boxed in area. Now we just have to screw this in. Whoa! Whoa! Not into my trailer. Come on back here. I guess one sandbag wasn't enough. Put you here. Okay. That. Madness. Flush with the outside here. Oh. Oh. Okay. Good. 2 more. All right. That is on there. So now the hose will clip in and we can route it down this way. But there's still, obviously, a few more steps I have to do to this OSB because right now it's sealed. So the exhaust is just gonna go nowhere. So I need to mark where this exhaust opening is going to go and then fit my vent for the outside. So I'm going to trace on the inside of this box where the max opening is, and then I will be able to fit my vent to the outside. We're going to go like that and that. And we're going to write A, C, because I'm going to be putting the fan right there. This is going to go like that, and this like that, and into this thing. But it's kind of poking out a bit. I think I actually have to cut like 3/4 of an inch off of this. Otherwise, this is going to be too far out. So I'm just going to tin snip, and then that'll be totally fine. So I'm going to mark 3/4 of an inch. Precise as possible. Cut through this. Yeah, it's tricky, but it's doable. She's probably wearing gloves. Cut some triangles out. There we go. All right, not bad. Now that we have this cut, that is way more inset into this cavity here. So now this can sit way further back. I can actually anchor that in pretty well. Trace around the outside of this elbow. Yeah, that kind of worked. And I've got my circle for my fan hole cut out. I think what I have to do now is actually take that piece of OSB off and cut out my vent holes. But I'm also going to need to trace this on that once I get it off. Get a pry bar maybe? Because I spray foamed it in, it's kind of stuck on there a little bit. So I've got my two vents. Unfortunately, they didn't have two of the same style, so we've got two different looking ones. So one is gonna go here, and one is gonna go there. Bottom of this to be inside this cavity. So this distance is 1 inch, and on this one, which way is up? About 1 inch and 1/4. So this is 9 3/4. So divided in 2. We're gonna call it 4 3/4. Kind of close enough, right there. And then what's the height of this? 4 1/2. So right about there is our center. That at 2 inch and that at 4 inch. That at 2 inch. Okay, so it's gonna kind of be in this general area, right there. So let's trace around this. And again, I'm never going for perfection. I'm just going for, can I do it myself? And will it work? Thankfully, I've got lots more OSB, so if I screw this piece up, I can do it again. And we've already marked this one off. Fill it in a little more so I can see better. I'm gonna use a jigsaw, but I need to drill a hole first so that I can actually use the jigsaw. And I've never actually used a jigsaw, but I looked up a YouTube video, so we'll see how this goes. I'm just gonna drill through this. There we go. And then we'll drill a hole through here. There we go.
So I've got my jigsaw and I've got this speed wood blade. I'm just gonna load it up. Open this up, and then you want the blades facing away. Pop that in there. Close that up. Locked and loaded. Put the battery on. This way. There. Okay, let's see. Perfect. Okay, let's go cut.
So I think I just put it into the hole I just drilled here and try and trace this circle, or cut out this circle, I should say, as best as I can. This is such a sweet tool. But I'm kind of going at a weird pattern here. How do you like, maybe I should have done the drill hole on the edge. Okay, there we go. Okay, AC hole now. Okay, honestly, Jigsaw is up there with the Buzzy tool. This is awesome. Let's try and test fit this. It's gonna go like that. Like that. And then this is gonna be like that. Oh, probably gotta do some more trimming here. There, that fits. Let's see this one. There. Vent. In. Perfect. Got the fan on that side, AC on that side. Perfect. That's all good. I'm not gonna put a ton of screws in it right now because I still have no idea if this is actually gonna work. That looks really good. That's gonna be like that. This is gonna be like that. And that's gonna be like that. There's 2 screw hole points. And I'm just gonna mark where they're supposed to be. I'll put my 2 screws there, up in this header, and then I can screw it in and put this in place. Kind of like that, I think. So we'll try it. 1 screw here. Goes in. There. Oh, geez. Okay. Like that. This. We'll screw those in and then that'll hold it in place so I can get this elbow on. Oh, but I want to side it still, so I can't. Ah. So many chickens and so many eggs. So this vent goes on top of the siding, so I can't actually mount this to the OSB, but I do kind of want to know its placement. So I'm just going to put 1 screw in just to hold it in place so I can figure out the fan and the elbow placement. I'll just put 1 in there, just kind of loosely to hold it in place. This elbow is going to go like that, roughly, right? In like that. That should work then. And then I just need to crimp this around the exit point here. And then once I put the siding on, then everything can come together. So that can come off. So we'll make a couple cuts in this along the crimped edge. That way I'll be able to fold it around that vent exit point. Okay, cut that.
this goes around there. And so it's not as easy as I thought. Kind of want to crunch these in. Yeah, that's kind of working. Like that. So I'll get that all bent around it. Obviously, it's not as good as getting something that fits it properly, but I'll bend it around like that, and then I've got some of that aluminum tape, this stuff, aluminum adhesive tape, and I'll tape it around once I get it in place. But for now, I'm gonna leave this off to the side because I can't really go further until I've sided the door. So let's move on to the exhaust vent, see where that's gonna come down, and then I've got to build a platform for my AC unit. So this is going to attach here, like that. And then because I don't want it hanging in front of the doorway here, we're gonna angle it this way. It's gonna come down. So I need something like this string. Sometimes you just gotta make stuff up as you go. Like that. I'll put a screw in the end of this right here, the header, that'll hold in place. Whoops. Okay, good enough. This, like that. And that will come down. This is the hose tube attachment point down here, and it's quite a ways away from where it needs to be. So I have to raise this up, and this is quite heavy. I have to get this up on a platform high enough that it can connect into this like that. So the bottom of the vent is at 1 foot. The top of the vent is at 18.5 inches. So this is kind of where the horizontal point is. Right there is the bottom. So 1 foot down from here is right here. Right there, that is kind of where we want the base of the AC unit to be. Base. So let's see how tall we really want this. We want the top of the platform to be 41 inches. Let's go see outside what materials we have. My old tabletop workbench platform that I made for my townhouse garage that I didn't need for this sea can. So we're gonna repurpose this. So this inside dimension is just over 16.5, but AC unit has wheels and I don't want it to roll off the platform, especially being that high up in the air. So I'm hoping it will fit inside this, and I can just put another brace here, cut this part off, and it'll just sit inside of this. And I'll put some legs underneath, maybe. Oh, 13.5. By just over 13.75. So 100% that'll fit. So I'm getting set up over here because I need to use my corded skill saw in order to cut through this all assembled. It has a bigger blade and my cordless skill saw would not be able to handle this, and couldn't reach my extension cord all the way to my work site over there. So we're gonna do it over here. So I'm just gonna make it square. Screws, good. There we go. Perfect. That's exactly what
I wanted, other than this part. That could have been cut better. There we go. Clean. Let's move back over to the other spot because I don't want to get a bunch of stuff all over my trailer. Here's my plan for this. I'm going to cut this piece of wood, pop that in there, drill it in, get it all sealed up. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, like this, so that I can put legs and it'll be a raised platform with a container. I think it's gonna be great. So first, let's take this screw out. And we'll screw this down into that. Then we need this measurement, 16, what are you, 16 and a half? Cut this to 16 and a half. This goes like that. There we go. We're gonna flip it over. So, 14 and a quarter. So I'm laying these down on their side because I don't want the AC unit to be rolling around in the platform, and it will fit if I lay them down. So that's perfect. Well, I'm gonna try and get this done as quickly as possible before this storm rolls in. 14 3/8. 14 and 3/8. So if our platform is 2 inches deep, then I can deduct 2 inches off of the height of where the base needs to go for the legs. 39. Our legs need to be 39 inches. So I'm actually going to build this in here because it is so crazy windy outside and the storm is rolling in that I don't want to be out there anymore. Oh, glasses down. Let's put this all together. So first, let's make sure the AC unit fits on the platform I built. This. No. Oh, it's good. I forgot that there's the drain plug there, and it just, literally, just fits. With not a millimeter to spare. That is a perfect fit. Now, I could always cut a little slot here so that I can have a drain exit for it. But for today, I'm just gonna make sure that this can mount to the hose. So that's good, that fits. That off to the side. Now, make sure these legs, yeah, okay, great. That should all work out beautifully. So let's flip this over. And we're gonna attach these legs like that. Perfect. And I'm going to toe nail it this way as well to make it extra secure. There we go. And we just repeat the process. Put this together. Oh my. Can we just sink a screw? There we go. Slow going. Oh. Not necessarily coming here for the satisfying drill content. Wow, I did that one without slipping. Okay, let's make sure this is the right height first, and then I'll put braces on.
Oh, that is really high. It is the right height. Is it level? Not level. Because the C-can is not level. It's not like that's terrible. It's actually pretty good. And then this way. Also not terrible. Do I zing a little bit on those legs? Trim down a tiny bit? I've never made a table before, so I'm not entirely sure. Both of these legs are a little higher. Do we care? It's only so minor. They are a little low there anyway. I'm just gonna cut away the legs. Whatever. I think it'll be fine. You need to come down and you need to come down. Very, very little amount. Trim this inside. Turn this back in. It's no less rocky. Okay, it's so much worse. Now, unfortunately, when we got the C-can delivered, we were in such a rush. We had one day to dump everything into it so that we could get back to our hometown to finish cleaning our rental place. So we didn't get a chance to level this trailer. And I know a lot of you guys had commented about these C-can doors being difficult to close, to grease them and to adjust the hinges and level the trailer and all that. Yes, in a perfect world, we would have leveled the C-can, But it's not the C-can doors that need greasing. They're actually damaged, and I'll show you. The door is actually bent. So that's why it's not closing well, unfortunately. It's just a used C-can. You can also see here in this hinge point, it's been hit right there. So there's a big gap on that side, and it's tight on this side. It's been hit there as well, but not as bad as that side. Although this C-can is definitely not level, and there's not much we can do about it now with all this stuff in it, I can't use the backhoe to lift it because the backhoe hydraulics are very weak. We're just gonna deal with it on a slight slant. So, seeing that this did not make any amount of improvement, really, maybe it's just because the legs are kind of bowed right now and they need to be locked in place. So why don't we flip it down, and I'm gonna put some braces around the base. Try and do this somewhat gracefully. So realistically, they should be the same as this part down here. I just need to make four pieces that are the same dimensions as that. I need 2 at 16.5 and 2 at 19.5. Let's do it. There. We're gonna flip this down on its side. That's gonna be easier. And I'm gonna place these about 3 or 4 inches up. If I can find my tape, there it is. 3-ish inches up. There. Hi, Ellie. You wanna watch? Just like that. So I'm gonna do the other side, same length piece, and then I'll square it up and make sure it's all where it should be. This is also gonna go 3 inches up. Like that. Goes this way. And these go on the outside. It's looking pretty stormy outside, and it's the first day it's been below 35 degrees in 3 weeks. So maybe by installing this AC, I'll just shoo the heat wave away and I won't actually need the AC, but that's just how it goes, isn't it? Stand this up. Okay, well, let's get this into its spot. There. That's pretty good, honestly. Like, really? That's not that bad. But I think totally solvable with some shims. Good right there. And honestly, pretty good right there. Screw this into the floor. There. Okay, now I'm going to use the Buzzy tool to cut off the ugly ends of the shims that we don't need to see. So that can go into the outlet that's going to go there. Oh! Oversight. Maybe too close. After all that, I need to move it over this way. The vent, or the hole here, is like halfway through the platform. Might have to re-level and re-shim everything I just did. That's okay. That can come up a little bit more. Not too bad. Let's screw it in. Let's get this up there. There. Nice and snug. And this. Oh, it's too pinchy. It's gotta blow this way. So why don't we move this whole unit forward a bit. This is probably what I should have done first. So that if it came out like that, this could come behind. And like that. Bump it up a tiny bit. Look at that. Beautiful. Here. Just beautiful. Well, this turned out awesome. I have a lot more to do in here, but it's getting late, so I'm gonna leave it there for tonight. I'll be back in the morning. Good night.
Good morning. So today I'm going to be finishing up putting in some spray foam around this door that I wasn't able to finish up last time because I ran out of product. Once I'm done that, I'm going to be adding some trim and siding to this exterior door. That way I can do my vents. It's going to be a big day, so let's get into it. Okay, got my spray foam. I got this new spray foam gun. It's going to make applying it a lot easier. Still getting used to this gun. There we go. There, that's better. The gun application, so much easier. I think I'm done with my spray foam, at least for now. So while this is drying, I'm going to measure and cut my trim pieces. It's gonna go from here to there. 80 inches exactly. So I'm gonna cut those two pieces first, and then I'll do my header afterwards. Perfect. Now I'm also gonna need to cut some OSB chunks that are the same width as this trim for the left side of the door. Let me show you. So once I cut away at this foam, there's gonna be a bit of a gap here. There's gonna be nothing to be able to fasten the trim to. So I'm gonna have to fill in some areas here so that I can attach it. These off to the side for now. So this piece will go in there once I've cut all this out, and I'll be able to attach my trim to it. So what I didn't do last time was cut it with a very long blade and cut it perpendicular to the surface. So I ended up cutting out a lot of the foam. So I have to try and go a little bit straighter here. Just like that. Grab my garbage can here before these go flying everywhere. That's nice. I'm gonna trim the inside later because I want to get the trim pieces on the door because it is forecasted to rain later this afternoon. So I'm gonna try and get all the outside stuff done first, and then we'll go inside. Yeah, that'll be good. Now we can install. That will go in like that. With the OSB, like that, it makes it nice and flush with the door trim or door frame, just like it is here. I want it nice and flush so that I can put my trim over top of it and have something to fasten it to. Like that. Now we can install the door trim. We're gonna go like that. That's gonna go like that. Let's nail it in place. Oh God, I forgot how scary this is. Oh, that missed. Oh, they all missed. Not attached in the slightest. I thought I had nailed it to what it needed to, but it just nailed through foam. Get this out. Just bend those nails over, I guess. There. Fail. Let's try and get these nails out. Oh. So where are my OSB pieces? Right here. All right. Should have marked it on the trim, shouldn't I? Whoa, scary. Couple extra holes, but that's all right. Okay, let's put the other side on. Maybe I can do this with just 3 holes. Goes here. Oh. I think there was supposed to be a reveal on that side, because I think it's supposed to line up with this. That's the whole point. I have to pull that off again. Whoa! I also made this one too short. Okay, well, I'm learning lots right now. I gotta rip this down a little bit. At least it's not too difficult to get off. If you don't make mistakes, then you don't learn anything new. 3 1/8. I was measuring off the sill. No bueno. We need to measure off the bottom here. 80 3/4. Okay, let's cut those first. Before I start ripping a piece down, let's make sure it's the right height first. And it is. Okay, so that one will be reserved for this side. Let's go rip this other piece. Okay, that looks good. It's all secure. Maybe I'll try using my speed square here. Okay, well I'm gonna rip this. Maybe I'll try and set up my tent because I think I'm gonna get rained on pretty quickly here. There we go. All right, let's check and make sure this fits. So we're gonna keep the factory edge, this side, out because it's nicer. So much better. Look at that. That is perfectly lined up. I just have to make a little bit of a notch here in the foam so that can go down a little further. There we go. Clean all that out. For some reason this one's shorter though. What did I do? Did I cut the wrong one? No. They're the same length. Must just be the angle of the sea can. Nothing a little shim can't fix. Like that. Okay. Let's nail that into place. Before I do this again, where are my little OSB chunks at? We got one from like here to there. There. Right there. There. Okay, now we can do the header piece of trim. Pull this out for now. We'll go back in after we put the siding on. There. 42 3/8 light. Oh, a thing of beauty. Now I just need to mark out where my fan holes, vent holes are, and then use the jigsaw to cut out those parts. And go inside and trace it from the back. That like that, it's nice and lined up. And then you can come out for a second. So here's the curve I need to cut out, and same with here. And same for this side. There. This up here. Like that. That lines up really well. Okay, I'm gonna nail that on and then I'm gonna get out of the rain for a bit. We have door trim. Okay, this trim looks amazing, but it's about to start to downpour. So I'm gonna go have some lunch and I'll be back when it stops raining. All right, well, the rain has stopped for the time being, so time to do some siding. So, bring these back out. So I've got this cedar siding, and I'm gonna use the smooth side out, and I've decided I want a 5-inch reveal. So this is gonna hang down like this. This is gonna be the bottom, the thicker end, and the thinner end will be up top. And I'm gonna have 5 inches showing and then overlap it here with my next piece up top. So I just need to take my measurements, we'll mark out some lines, then we'll get to cutting. Okay, so I'm gonna start by making some marks every 5 inches on my edge of my trim here. That way I'll know where my reveal is going to be and where I can nail my next board. So we're gonna measure 5 inches up. And 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. And then once I get up to this point, I'll figure this section out because that's going to need some strategic cuts. And then the width, 5.5. See See, it's wedged shaped like that. Skinnier part's gonna go up and the fatter side's gonna go down. Okay, so that fits pretty nicely. And then there's my 5-inch mark right there. So I just have to nail there and there. 2. That looks good to me. Let's cut the next piece. Smooth side out. And it's gonna made that one a little bit snug. Tap this one down a little bit. Beautiful, let's nail it. Next piece. And where's my square? There, maybe I can hold it like that, because that's right on my line. And then it's all level, and then I can nail and not have my hands in the way. There. Oh, this is so fun. I like this. Okay, next piece. 5 3/8. Good stuff. Okay, now we gotta do this top custom piece. 47 3/8. So this board is quite a bit more weathered, but I got these boards for $5 a piece. So since I'm painting them anyways, it doesn't matter that they don't look as pretty right now. So let's go this side. 47, go away. Go away, nope. Nope. 3/8. Make sure this fits. Okay, that's a good fit. Right there is the bottom, which means if that's the bottom of my board and I want the bottom of the board to be sitting up here. Okay, well, it has been absolutely crazy weather today. It suddenly got freezing. Not actually freezing, but it's like 10 degrees colder. Cut that top part off and then I will trace where the fan hole cutouts need to go. Make sure we're all in the clear there. Okay, let's test fit this. It's almost seeming like it's a little shorter here and a little longer there. So I'm gonna measure each end, try and cut it properly. 4 5/8, and this is 5 inches. Oh, come on. There. There. Perfect. So now that that's in there, I just need to go to the other side and trace holes. Is this it? Jigsaw time. Clamp this down. So there you can see the AC. And there's the fan. Oh, it's because the cedar shingle there, I've got to get a piece for up there to kind of match it. Because this is not the same as that, and that's why it's all wobbly. 2 5/8. So I measure 2 5/8 down. This is the part we're not keeping. That kind of matches that. And there, one there. Whoops, cut that in half. Then that other piece should fit on. And like that. Oh, that's good. siding. Success. Behind there, up here, there's a big ol' gap. There's a literal massive gap right there. So I have to figure out something for behind there so that can attach. 6 1/4 wide, 6 1/4. Okay, it is absolutely pouring right now. Look at that. That just looks so damn ugly though. Maybe I just cut it flush with that. There. There. Okay. Okay, that'll work. Look at that behind, and I can screw through that into that. I'm calling that good. That looks awesome. Oh no, it'll fit. And this one's up at the top here. I mean, the bottom's kind of the same, but I think I'm gonna replace that to match this. I knew that they were too different, but I didn't think it was gonna look that bad, too different. Let's go inside and do what we need to do inside now. Wow, those nails came through pretty aggressively up there. Goes down. And then this go in there. Like that. So I do it like that. And I can tape around here like that and then spray foam behind there. That should work. There. And that will go into an extension cord. So here's the socket, like that. So I gotta go from the outside and thread this side through. This end through. I gotta clean up some of this grease around there. And I'm not gonna caulk this in quite yet. I'm gonna wait until I have everything laid out how I want to, and then I'll seal everything up. Okay, this is all coming together very well, but the next part I need to figure out is the lights. And this is honestly the part that I've been kind of avoiding and the part that seems the most overwhelming to me. So here are my lights. Let's open them up and see. Something about running wires and trying to make connectors happen just overwhelms the heck out of me. Here is, I don't know what this is, but maybe we'll figure that out. A cable, okay, that's good, that's part of it. Ensure the two plastic anchors are at 35.5 inches apart. So, I guess these are the clips. Here are the the metal clips. And it looks like they go like that into the channel, and that's what holds it up. I want it 4 feet away from the door framing, approximately, because that's how long this is, ish. Like that, because that's gonna go like that. Kind of want it centered over the door here. That right there is 4 feet. I'm gonna go in the peak because I think it's gonna be a lot easier to
attach the lights to the lowest point rather than trying to attach it to the highest point and dealing with these ridges. So I'm gonna pop it right here. This is gonna be my first spot. Well, I just realized I'm completely out of water, so I've got to go fill my water tank. But I think I've got this whole lighting situation sorted. It doesn't seem as complicated as I made it in my head. So tomorrow I will get those installed and we'll get this all finished up. So see you in the morning.
Good morning. All right, so we're gonna get right back into it and start hanging these lights. Come on in. We'll pop these into place in the holes that I spotted. In the holes that the marks that I placed on the ceiling last night. I clearly haven't woken up yet. Okay, let's put these self-tappers in. Whoa, easy there, Meg. This goes like that into there. That right there. Always scares me a little bit. Get that lined up. There we go. Not too bad. There's our first bracket. Well, that's nice and easy. I got it to 30 inches exactly. It's always nice when that happens and it ends up as a whole number. So, where's our other one? Right here. This should be approximately 30 as well. Oh, it is. Look at that. Can you see that? 30. Getting better at eyeballing these things. Woo! There. Brackets in. Okay, let's see if these lights will clip in now. Connects like that. Or not. Like this. Okay. And then, oh, sorry. Clip in. Oh my goodness. There. Yay! All right. And then this will reach over here. Perfect. Let's get the other one in. This one, kind of the same placement as the other one, because I don't want to cast a big shadow over the bench. I want the bench to be well lit. So I'm just gonna place it in the same spot. Too far away here. Right around there. 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 Oops. Where did that go? Oh God. Don't crush it. Oh, here. Whew, thank goodness. Okay, self-tapper didn't break. Okay. Okay, next one. Making moves here. There. Perfect. Okay. I think I'm gonna put the cord on the other side because these normally have a connector cable. You can connect multiple lights together, but they were sold out of that. So I'm actually gonna be tying these in just two separate plugs, but it's all gonna be on the same switch. So that's what's complicating this a little bit for me. That's good. Okay. So the next step, I was going to wire all these together right now, but because there's still dew on the ground and it rained a bunch last night, I'm gonna take advantage of the moisture on the ground so I can drill my little soffit vent holes on the side of the sea can. That way, if there is any hot metal that drops on the ground, there's water on the ground. So I'm not gonna be as worried about fire risk. So let's switch gears and do that, and then we'll finish up this wiring. So I've got a 3-inch hole saw to match my 3-inch soffit vent. And I'm gonna drill it back there. So I have to drill my pilot hole first so I can see where it is on the outside, and then I'll drill my 3-inch hole from the outside in. I've got my drill here. I'm gonna put my 3/16 bit. This is my metal bit again. Oh, it'd be helpful if I had a battery on there. There. Right here is where I'm gonna drill my pilot hole, and then I'll drill the 3-inch hole from the outside in. We wanna go into a valley on this side because we want it mounted to a peak on the other side. Ooh. Ouch. Okay, that worked. The other hole I want to drill is going to be at the back of the sea can, but a lot of stuff in my way. So I'm going to have to drill that completely from the outside. So I'll spot my approximate distance from in here, and hopefully I don't drill through anything inside. Okay, so if we zoom down there, right there is kind of where I wanted, in that little hole where there's no storage things. 17 inches, 20. So that's about 20 inches away from the wall. 20 inches, and then the next peak is where I want to drill through. Setting up my drill here, we want that step up a little bit because this drill bit won't fit in the pilot hole that I drilled, but I didn't have a bigger metal bit. There we go. Need a little more grip. There. There's that metal piece that I cut out. There, that can be garbage. This is my 3-inch hole saw. It's quite a bit bigger. Tighten it down, then you back it off so that the little pins inside are exposed, and then you screw the pins in at the base. And it's all locked and loaded there. I've got my drill with my step up, step down bit. I've got my grease. Here's my hole right here, right there. Okay. Yes, okay, it'll fit. So we'll be drilling like that. Getting the grease on there and spit around. Whew, okay, a little nervous, but we can do this. It's just a little bit of a bigger hole. That through there. Oh my God! The bit snapped. Okay, reassess. In order to fix this drill bit situation, I've got to mount up my vise. Take this apart. Whoops. Snapped. So I've got to take this set screw out. Here's the vise. There we go. And this goes in there. Take that out. Take this set pin out so I can take this out. Broken. Way bigger. Similar. Maybe that'll work. See if this bit will fit as my dowel. Yes, it will. Okay, let's do that then.
that will work. So pop that back in there. There, that's better. This out. There. At least now I have my vise set up. And then this goes back on here, like this, screws in tight, and then loosen a little bit. Pop the pins through. All the way down. Okay, let's get back to it.
Take 2. Woo, scary. More grease. Grease. More grease. Oh, I did it. But the metal dropped on the inside, so I'm gonna go get it.
It's right there. There it is. I got it. Okay, one more hole to drill. Well, that worked really well. Now we gotta move to the back of the can and do the other one. That would put me at this one, right here.
So I gotta fix this rock situation down here so that my ladder doesn't fall. Good. That is pretty safe. Start by drilling a pilot hole. Safe. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna go try and spot the pilot hole from the inside, make sure I'm happy with the spot, and then we'll continue on.
You can see my hole right there. So it's kind of in a good spot. So let's keep drilling.
More grease can't be a bad thing. Metal likes grease. Woo! Okay, try and pull this out without losing the hole. Nice, I got it.
See, it's kind of smoking hot grease, but I don't know if it's picking up, but nothing was damaged. There's a tire there. What do you know? More tires. Everything's good. Hole's drilled, so let's just clean up all this nasty grease.
All prepped and ready for caulking and that vent. And then clean this one.
A little spot so that I have about a 1/4 inch hole. Like that. And here, like that. We're ready to rock.
I'm gonna pop this through here. I'm gonna caulk behind it. Might need some tape to hold it so it doesn't spin like that as well. Some tape here. Okay, that one's done. We'll leave that to chill for a time. So just a bead of caulking around this edge here. Oh, don't drop. This stuff is really messy. Okay. In the right way. like that. Squish it in. More on that side. Just a little bit extra over here. Perfect. And it's made a nice seal. Nicely sealed on that side, all the way around. Excellent. Okay, moving on to the other one. Go away. I'm busy. Keep going all the way around. There. Make sure it's facing the right direction. There we go. Not too bad. Okay, so the next order of business is caulking the sides of my siding here. So all these little gaps here need to be filled so that no water can get in behind there. So getting behind there. Try and put down a nice clean bead, although this is trickier than I would have imagined to try and make it look nice. There. A lot of people online said the best way to spread the caulking into the cracks was by licking your finger and pressing the bead into the crack. That looks awesome. There, that's looking much better. Let's take this off and then I'll finish caulking the rest of it. Let's undo this little situation here. And it kind of got foamed in there. Make sure the louvers are the right direction. Of course, now my little custom piece doesn't fit. I'm gonna take that off, I guess. There. All right, that's garbage. I'm gonna try and lower this guy down a little bit. See how this works. Because I don't want to take that whole trim piece down. So let's get that out of there. So I just need to carve this part out a tiny bit. That's better. We're calling that good. Let's screw it in. Oh, that didn't work so well. It's not gonna work for these ones because there's no flange here. I'd have to stick a piece of wood past it in order for the screw hole to not split the wood. And I don't want to have a massive piece of wood sticking out the side. That just seems silly. So we're just gonna screw it in, to be honest. Let's just pop that in there. Make sure it's nice and straight. Louvers are in the right direction. There. And I'm just going to spray foam from behind. Make sure that's all nicely sealed. Nothing's going to get in there. Yeah, all of that is touching. There are no gaps. I'm just gonna fill it in from the back side so that nothing can even get in. Oh no, we gotta finish caulking here. Okay, now that the caulking is done, I'm gonna go silicone the self-tapping screw holes on the roof. Okay. Alright, here we go. Screw holes. Put a glob there. Gloop. There's another one right here. There. Little marshmallows on the roof. Marshmallow, marshmallow, old marshmallows. Now let's get down from here. Okay, so one thing I forgot to do last time was put some extra screws in these brackets. I ran out of self-tappers and I didn't quite get to finish that up. So I'm gonna put a couple self-tappers in those brackets, and then we'll get to wiring. There. There. Back to wiring. Like this. Like that. Turn over. And down. There, that'll reach. Good. Okay. Go there. Do a little screw there and a little zap strap to the screw. And then we just need one more zap strap to hold it to the screw. There, like that. There, not bad, right? Trim that. There. Out of the way. Just gonna foam around in there, make sure it's nice and sealed. Much better, all sealed. That, this is gonna go around here, like that. Table is gonna come down. So this is gonna go here, so that I can have my light switch. This can come down there. Let's mark where these holes are gonna go. Let's trim this foam away. There. There. Have these little squares. I have to line the screws up. Screw heads up too. It's kind of loose. I don't want that. That reaches. I'm gonna spray foam behind it. This might be one of those things that I'll regret later, but for now, it seems like a great idea. There. It'll just dry and get locked in like that, hopefully. And if not, then I will figure out something else. That, you can get tucked behind. Just for now. It's like hanging Christmas lights, kind of. And that is going to be a future project. Can you guess what it might be? Alright, good. There, lasso. You come through. Like that. In there. That goes in like that. This is looking amazing. Okay, now we should see if it's all going to work. Okay. We'll ignore that excessive amount of extension cord there. Let's see if the power works. Uh-oh. What am I missing? Oh, wait! My extension cord isn't plugged into the generator. That's why. Okay, moment of truth. Let's take this tape away. Plug it in. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I got this. Oh my God, I did it! We have such a nice light here. I can see everything. Yes. Where's my ladder? Ah! Oh, it's on. We have AC. Let's get this sorted and then we'll get to painting. Trim. Got that. Got that. There. Look at that. I can close the door and you can still see me. Trim that. Blowing. And AC running. And the vents are popping. I am absolutely stoked on that. The last thing I want to do is paint this outside to finish it up and make it look beautiful. So let's do it. It looks so good. Well, I gotta say, the outside looks amazing, but the inside just blows me away. It looks so good. Bench is so well lit. And the door is closed and it is so bright in here. Well, I gotta say, I am very happy with how this all came together. I have power, I have lights, I have a fan, I have AC, and the outside is finished and looks amazing. I am so happy. This is gonna be really, really great to work in. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and this project, and I'll see you next week for another one.